There's a stretch of road in northwest Oklahoma that I will never forget. It's the sky, it's the prairie, it's the red dirt. And every time I see pictures of that land, something just settles in me because that's home. I remember making a final drive back east, and it was one of the hardest drives I'd ever made. Daddy had disinherited me. And if I'm being honest, I cried a whole lot of that drive between Woodward and Tulsa. There was grief over losing my dad, but there was also grief of what our relationship had become. There were things that I couldn't fix, I couldn't change, and things I desperately wished had been different. But somewhere in the middle of that hurt, I would look up and I would see that beautiful Oklahoma sky, the land, the red dirt, the wide open prairie, and I was reminded that this is the land that had shaped me long before I ever understood what that meant. They grow you tough in western Oklahoma on the plains, but they don't just grow you tough. They teach you resilience. They teach you how to keep moving when the wind is blowing against you. They teach you that sometimes the landscape is wide open, but life isn't always easy. And they teach you that people matter. But when I think about those years, and I think about the people who showed up for my parents when they needed somebody, their friends, their families, my childhood friends and their families, my brother and his family, our cousins, all those people who stood beside us in one way or another. And I will forever be grateful, because when you grow up somewhere like western Oklahoma, you learn that family isn't always defined by a last name. Sometimes family is the person who checks on your mama, the person who sits with your daddy, the childhood friend who still answers the phone decades later, the cousin who shows up, the neighbor who helps, the people who don't necessarily have to do anything, but they do it anyway. And those are the people I think about when I see the pictures of the land. I think about that girl who was crying her way from Woodward to Tulsa, trying to make sense of a loss she couldn't fix. I wish I could go back and put my arm around her and tell her, girl, you're gonna be okay. You're going to carry this. And one day you're going to be able to look back without only remembering the hurt. You're going to remember the sky. You're going to remember the land. You're going to remember that red dirt. And you're going to remember the people who loved you when life was hard. I already know that I will see the red dirt again. I'm going to be able to look at that big Oklahoma sky. And I know that I have friends and family that when I'm there, I will get to hug them. It's not just a place, it's the people in it that helped you make you who you are until you get far enough away to see it clearly. That red dirt is part of me. Those people are part of me. No matter how far east I go, I will always carry western Oklahoma with me. Have a beautiful day, friends. Bye.